we are certainly trying to build an entire personality into your profile, right? And you are going to put a lot of time and effort into building that, and you will be very upset the day that you wake up and try to log in, and now you just meet a completely red screen that said you're dead, and that's everything. You can't do anything.
Jesus.
So the game is over for you, right? And I think that people will realize that sucks. You know, that's not a nice feeling. So it will be. We are considering to have a revive option where you kind of can start over with you just lost everything, but you can kind of contain the same name. You lost all of your positions, everything. You're basically just as if you just created it with the same name over again. But I really like the idea of the one name forever, so that you don't have kind of a two paths in this without the same name. Then because you could just as well create a new wallet in MetaMask or whatever Rabby, and then just create the profile anyways, right? If there's no other benefit than the name, then maybe it's just best to keep it exclusive.
I think it's very smart to keep it exclusive to that wallet, to that name, to that itemization, because I know what we'd like to do with the SocialFi building it is that name is a particular story in crime. Like if you are let's say a DB Cooper, right? The guy that jumped out of a plane with all that money and no one could ever find that guy. Well, that guy escaped. That name can't be used again. He wasn't killed. He just was never caught. Always survive, never get caught. And so like the itemization of, can you keep your name and stay under the radar? That's an interesting benefit. But if you do die, what is that lore of that character? What did he do in between that particular amount of time? Like, anything from Lord of the Rings or any other fantasy thing, you have a particular character archetype on who they are, especially when you play a game like D&D, right? Or any type of pen and paper game, top-down game, board game that's itemized, who that is. If you lost a Monopoly, the car is dead if you're playing the car, right? Or if it goes to jail, that car isn't permanently embargoed. I think that's very sticky to give people that character or persona. And if something happens, what would that story be that lives in longevity, right?
Yeah, I think that we have spoken a little bit about, having a underworld or a lower bracket or a afterlife game or something where you can continue on. But ultimately, I think it's better that we recycle the attention and the activity and the capital straight into the main game again, because every time you kind of split it out, you kind of also divert the attention and the activity. And I'm not entirely sure that's the route we want to go. We would like to create one unified success first before we're even considering something like that.
I really don't even think that like having a secondary player game, because remember, if you die, you're not losing access to your Mafia tokens. You could just restart it. You just lost the time and possibly the economic energy used to purchase. But if you were just middle of the road, got your 2,000 tokens, and you're just playing, you still have those 2,000 tokens. It's just your time in the particular game with committing heists and robbing cars and all the rest of that. That's, at cost. Larger ticket items, or let's just call it Ivy League or professional league football games. Well, there's more things at risk, but there's more things to gain as well, because you can go up in prestige in the economic value of the vault and the way that, the taxman re-rolls the localized sub-economy of the game outside of the Mafia itself. However, the purchasing power in between PLS or Mafia, or if you took a particular NFT, put it on Mintra or any other decentralized DEX you can trade NFTs on. Well, that's really, really interesting to bind multiple tiers of economies and ecologies back together.